Welcome, everyone. If you could take a seat, we'll start this soon. My name is Kelia Rashi, and I am the Special Events Coordinator at the Chabad Student Network of Ottawa, and I'd like to welcome you guys all to the Bar and Bat Mitzvah Gala.
My name is Victoria Frank, and I am the CSN University of Ottawa Vice President. Thank you for being here. Every year, the Chabad Student Network of Ottawa presents the opportunity for students who have not yet had their Bar and Bat Mitzvahs to finally do so. All 5 of the Bar and Bat Mitzvah students have worked diligently to prepare for tonight's event. A Bar Mitzvah is traditionally held for a 13-year-old boy and for a 12-year-old girl. It marks the Jewish coming of age. According to Jewish law, at these ages, the child becomes an adult and responsible to take their place in the wider community and to adhere to many Jewish principles and observances. What is different about this event is that it will grant 5 Ottawa students who have not yet enjoyed this rite of passage the opportunity to finally do so. Their friends and their family have traveled from near and far. While the program will include the conventional bar and bat mitzvah aspects, such as great food and drinks, dancing with a live band, speeches, and gifts to the guests of honor, it will be disguised by the meaning that this holds for the bnei mitzvahs themselves. These are not young kids failing to grasp the religious significance by going through the motions, since that is all their friends are doing or what their family encourages. These are young adults who have decided to make a passionate statement about the centrality of their Jewish identity in their lives. By doing this publicly, they affirm to their friends and to the wider community that Judaism is something that they feel strongly about and plan to make an important part of the future. We would like to thank those family members who came from near and from far to complete tonight's joyous occasion. I would like to make special mention of David Mordechai Ben Chipchit, who was instrumental in making tonight happen. May Hashem bless him, his wife, children, with an abundance of good, as well as Jenny Rivera for helping with all the food at Beth Shalom, the Shabinsky family, the CSN's very own Shane, Lewis, Sammy, and Cody. We would like to acknowledge the Director of Chabad Ottawa, Rabbi Dr. Hayes. It goes without saying that tonight wouldn't be remotely possible without Rabbi Chaim and Yocheved. Even with 5 kids and one on the way, Yocheved spent countless hours working on the sidelines, and I can't begin to describe how Rabbi Chaim put his heart and soul into this. I personally cannot adequately express my gratitude. However, on behalf of all of us, we would like to sincerely thank the entire BRC family for all they do for us students. So thank you, and please welcome us and please join us in welcoming Rabbi Chaim for a short Torah.
There was an artist who once showed the previous Chabad Rebbe, showed him a beautiful painting that he made. He showed him a bird standing on a stalk of wheat. And the previous Rebbe said that the picture and the painting can't be accurate. They said, how do you know? He said, very simple. By the mere fact that the bird is standing on the stalk of wheat and the wheat is not bent, shows that the picture is not real. Everybody here, the Bar and Bat Mitzvahs, made a very, very strong commitment, and they really showed their dedication and devotion, and they made some changes to the positive in their own life, which just shows how real and dedicated they are. So I want to sincerely wish a Mazal Tov to all the Bar and Bat Mitzvahs that will come up soon, and wish them and their family long life, and health and success, and that blessing and prosperity, and should have an abundance of blessings. Tonight's event was made possible by 2 very, very special volunteers who worked tirelessly in preparing hundreds of emails and conference calls and late night meetings, and everything you see tonight we're very, very grateful for 2 special girls, Kaylee and Vicky. I'd like to call upon your family to come up and present Kaylee and Vicky with 2 bouquets of flowers.
Thank you. Tonight we will also be doing Havdala. So Havdala is held after Shabbat ends with nightfall on Saturday evening. Essentially, Havdala separates Shabbat from the rest of the week. So to do so, you'll need 3 fundamental components. First is the wine or the grape juice, which allows you to taste the last sip of joy of Shabbat until the following week. Second is the spices, or besamim in Hebrew, which usually consist of cloves. On each table, you guys can find 2 small glasses filled with the spices, which you can then pass around and smell during the Havdalah. But why do we sniff the spices? It's because on Shabbat, we each possess an added soul. So in order to cope with the loss of our soul after Shabbat ends, we rejuvenate ourselves by smelling the spices. The third component is the Havdalah candle, or braided candle. We light this candle in order to give thanks to God for the gift of fire, without which our nights would be dark, cold, and gloomy. As well, the multiple wicks of this braided candle represents the multiple ways we use fire in our day-to-day life. In order to start Havdalah, I'd like to call upon the mothers and grandmothers or female representative of each of the bar and bat mitzvah participants to come up and light candles along with Yocheved. Please come up and join me.
Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei minei v'samim. We sell spices there should be spices on the table, we smell spices on the table. Small cups of spices on the table. After the next blessing, we place our fingers next to the fire, we see the glow of the fire, and our fingernails. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei minei ha'esh. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamadir v'kodesh l'chayil, v'kol l'chayshech, v'yisrael l'olim, v'nei mashvi l'sheshes, v'nei maseh. Baruch atah Adonai, hamadir v'kodesh l'chayil.
We would now like to call upon a real rabbi's rabbi, a leader in our community, an author of over 40 books, a recipient of the Key to the City of Ottawa, and who was just a little while ago appointed to the Order of Canada. It is our honor and pleasure to call upon Rabbi Bulka.
Thank you very much. Good Vach to everyone. Shavua Tov. It's a pleasure to be here. It's really difficult when Reb Chaim asks any one of us to do anything for him. A man who, when you ask him to do anything, he'll go through a brick wall to do it. So it's hard to say no to him. And in this instance, not only is it hard to say no to him because of what he is and who he is, it's also hard to say no because of what he was asking about. He and his dear wife Yocheved have been doing incredible things here in our community, and probably none more important than what we call in the lingo Hatzalat Nefashot. That is to say, the rescue of souls. Reb Chaim and Yocheved, the evidence of Hatzalat Nefashos here tonight is one that sends tingles down our spines. We, as rabbis, we prepare many, many children for bar mitzvah and for bat mitzvah over the course of the years. And truth be told, what we're doing tonight is totally different from a normal bar mitzvah. In a normal bar mitzvah, the kids are actually driven by their parents. And if not driven by their parents, they're driven by the presents. Very few actually come in and say, I really want to tackle this Torah reading or this Havdala, something that they have to do. I'm not, in fact, condemning all bar mitzvah boys and bar mitzvah girls as being people who are not happy about it. But the truth of the matter is, I remember my own bar mitzvah. And I know that every day my father had to push me. Did you go over it? Did you not go over it? And sometimes I didn't even tell the real truth. I said, I looked it over, but I really didn't. So this is not a night for confessions. But the truth of the matter is that the bar mitzvahs and bar mitzvahs that we're celebrating tonight are a total different quality. There's no parental drive to push you to do it. All of you who are going to be reaffirming tonight have basically of your own said, I am Jewish and I am proud of it. And that is priceless. For us living in a generation in which we're living in the best of times, when you compare with the last thousands of years, that we have a land of Israel, we have a place, a safe haven that every Jew can go to. We're living in a flourishing country where freedom of religion is deeply entrenched, which is arguably one of the safest countries in the world, one of the most prosperous. We have so many things to be grateful for. But you cannot help if Jewish people, everywhere they are, must be asking themselves, why is it that in spite of everything, and in spite of all that we have achieved, and in spite of all the great medical advances that Israel has made in the last little while, in spite of all the high-tech advances, every single high-tech instrument that you have has a Jewish connection with Israel, almost every single cure of a major medical ailment has a Jewish connection. People today, for example, who do not have to take X-rays, they can take a little camera and swallow it, and the camera actually takes a picture of the insides without having to cut open the person. That's an Israeli invention. The frontiers of cancer research and Alzheimer research and every single illness that plagues our generation, all of those cures, you can bet your bottom dollar there's going to be a Jewish and an Israeli connection. And yet, in spite of everything, Jewish people are besieged. We don't have to look that far. We just recall what happened, the two ugliest episodes in the last number of months, one of them in France, Yidden who are going to buy their meals for Shabbat, and in Israel, many of the people who were literally butchered to death, davening in their tefillin on a Monday morning, I think it was. Some of them close friends of mine. Hard still to believe that this happened, and only because they were Jewish. And then you ask yourself, what is happening? And for a Yid today to, on the one hand, see the most beautiful things happening, and then see some of the ugliest and say, when is it going to stop? And to feel a little sense of depression, despondency, frustration. And then we come here tonight and we have so many of you who are actually saying, I am Jewish, I am proud of it, I embrace it, I welcome it, I love it. This is, for us, a great source of nachas. For all of us, this is a picture that we need to keep in our minds. That in spite of everything that's going on out there, that there are people who get it. That there are people who are in the wait to help those who get it actually come into the fold. And our prayer and hope to all of you who will be tonight joining in more than just a symbolic gesture. It's a very loud, boisterous affirmation of not only your Jewishness, but of the beauty of Judaism. We're grateful to you because you have inspired us. So from us to you, not only a mazel tov, but a thank you for the inspiration that you give. And let us hope that you will continue to bring us nachas in all that you do in a life that will be permeated with Jewish values. Mazel tov and good luck.